Hi everyone and welcome. I know I said we were going to take a break over the summer, but as you know, if you saw my last video, I am actually working on a string quartet. And since I suggested to you guys to get sounds of nature, turns out there are some sounds of nature in the string quartet, and I wanted to share that with you. In the story, it talks about this bridge spanning a river, and the river is always shadowy. It's bordered by these warehouses, and according to the story, the river has these evil stenches. So I was trying to figure out how to capture all that in sound. And I kind of wanted to share this with you. Because it's a string quartet, we're limited in the number of instruments we're using. So I decided to do that with the lower strings. And in using the lower strings, one of the things I did, because it's always shadowy along this river, was I scored it in hovering around A flat. Now, the reason I did that is if you think of string tunings, for example, you've got, for a string quartet, the tunings are C, G, D, A, and E. So if you score in a key like A flat, then you're going to get less resonance. So it's going to create more of a shadowy effect. Another thing I did, I altered um, the flow of the notes. So for example, we're going from 6/8 notes in a half note beat to 4/8 notes in a half note beat. So it simulates the flow of the water going from faster to slower, the currents. The thing is that when the viola is playing 6 notes per half note beat, the cello is playing 4, so it's always 6 against 4. You could really use any two contrasting rhythms as long as they're close enough that you're creating a flow. And they don't alternate consistently. Another thing I did to add another layer of depth, simulating the rise and fall of the surface of the water, is the dynamics, also crescendo and decrescendo between the viola and the cello. And again, not consistently. The cello and the viola are very rarely crescendoing together. When they do, it simulates more of a rise in the surface of the water, whereas sometimes the viola is crescendoing and the cello is decrescendoing and vice versa. So let's take a look at this. I know I've talked about it now, and I want to show you exactly what it looks like. Okay, so I hope you found that kind of interesting, just looking at this little excerpt from the score. Again, if you wanted to score something brighter, more sunny, obviously you would maybe want to score that in a more resonant key to get, a different sound. And you may also actually want to score the flow of the river in probably the higher strings, and or if you're not limiting yourself just to strings, there are a number of things you can do, and a number of examples in the literature simulating water and river. That being said, as I suggested collecting sounds of nature, I wanted to share with you one more thing. And it's one of my favorite instruments to use when capturing sounds of the ocean. It is an ocean drum, actually. It's a frame drum, as you can see, and it's got 2 heads, and you can play it just like a regular frame drum. The thing is it's got these little pellets inside, and when you roll it around, it makes the sound of ocean waves. loops. So again, a great instrument to play around with. It's really cool to add if you want to add some ambient effects. I'll do a series later on some really cool percussion instruments that I've discovered, some of the more unusual ones that we don't use all the time. Till then, I hope you guys have a great summer and take care and keep writing.